Hello, and thank you for clicking on the help video here. I'm going to explain to you how to determine the domain for the square root functions. Now, the concept behind this is that we are not allowed to have negative numbers inside the square root because those numbers are not real. Like the square root of -9 is equal to the imaginary value of 3. So not a real value. So to determine the numbers that get excluded from the domain, we have to just guarantee that the number that we plug in for x here is going to be a positive number. To find that value, all we simply do is first step, get this radicand and set it to be greater than or equal to 0. So 8x minus 8 and have it be greater than or equal to 0. And then solving this inequality will tell me what values of x I'm allowed to use. So it's simple as that. So solving this equation, so moving on and solving this equation, we get that positive 8x, so moving this 8 to the other side makes it positive 8x, and we have this 8x to be greater than or equal to 8, not 8x, but 8, and we're going to divide both sides by 8. So this is our answer. As an inequality, x can be greater than or equal to 1. So that's the domain for this thing. We can pick any number that it will be greater than 1. And if I want to write this, as you'll be required to, as an interval, the interval notation for this will be all of the values from 1 to infinity. All the values greater than 1. So 1 to infinity. And because we're including 1, as you see right here, that is going to use a box for that value there. Now for the second example, same concept. To identify what values of x we're allowed to use, we're going to get our radicand, but this time we have negative 8x plus 5, but still set it greater than or equal to 0 and then solve this inequality. So negative 8x will be greater than or equal to a negative 5, and we're going to divide both sides by negative 8. Now here you have to recall your rules for inequalities because we're dividing by a negative 8. That is going to switch the inequality from a greater than to a less than direction. And well, the ratio of 5 over 8 equals to some decimal value. I'm going to leave it as a fraction. And since a negative divided by negative is positive, then it's positive 5 over 8. So this is our domain. As an inequality, our domain is simply all the values of x less than or equal to 5 over 8. And as an interval notation to express this concept as an interval, that will be all the values to the left of that number. So from negative infinity all the way to 5 over 8. And again, we're including that endpoint in this scenario. So this would be a bracket on the end. We would have to use a bracket on the end because we are going to include again that number right there. And there you have it, boys and girls. This is how you determine the domain for these type of square root functions. I hope this video was helpful.